G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to take a look at the Oceanus Shenron stage of the Birth of Shadow Dragons event and just basically get a good look at essentially my team build for completing the GT Heroes challenge. Now at the same time I'm also completing the event for the first time, even though I posted a different team on my channel. It is always fun to, I don't know, show two teams. Like I always like to do the missions separately because then you can show like one team using another category, then I can show the team that I use for the mission, then I can show a team I use for another item run, and then I can show a team for a free-to-play run eventually, and it just gives a lot of players more options. Maybe it's not the right way to do it, but it's the way I like doing it. But yeah, this is the GT Heroes challenge. Now obviously the goal is to have a GT Heroes team, all 6 units, GT Heroes orientated, and to use those units to basically take on and complete the Oceanus Shenron stage. Now the thing with the Oceanus Shenron stage is that Shenron, or Oceanus Shenron, is basically, to cut a long story short, 2 phases. It's a int phase and it is a tech phase. It is an AGL phase. So what you want to do is the int phase is actually relatively tanky and they can both hit decently hard. I think the AGL phase hits for around 700k or so it's a very decently hard hitting stage, but you actually want to prioritize bringing some tech units. And the reason is you can use items to kind of shuffle your way through the physical portion of the fight, the int portion of the fight, but you really want to just kind of have damage and type advantage against the next phase. At least that's what I felt like I wanted to do. It just felt like it was way better for me. So yeah, the thing is, Oceanus Shenron can be quite annoying, mainly because Oceanus Shenron has like this very irritating habit of obviously stunning characters, and this is annoying for 2 reasons. One, stunning characters is always just something that's quite irritating, but the main reason it's irritating is because if you have units that stack defense or have to build up their defense a little bit, having them stack is actually rather frustrating. And the reason why is because when she hits them with her stunning technique, they're not going to stack. They're not going to build up their defense because, well, they can't fire off their super. So you either have to refrain from doing this, or you just have to, have units that stack fast enough. Now, I also wanted to do this event without bringing double physical LR Super Saiyan 4s, although I highly suggest you do. And if you've got, obviously, the Spirit Bomb, GT units, I highly suggest you bring them as well. The units we're going to be using here though are the GoBros GT support duo, a fantastic support duo that just provide a lot of support for the GT Heroes category, while simultaneously just being very strong defensive units, especially after Super. We're then also going to have with us the super awesome combination units of basically the AGL, Trunks and Goten. Again, very, very, very nice units that again function incredibly well in terms of supporting the team, providing support, just being all round pretty nice guys. Really cool guys that just want to kind of have in your team, providing support. Good links, by the way, with a lot of the team, and they're going to provide cold judgment for the Oob, which is also going to be very important. Because Oob and his heal are also a very nice kind of bonus for the strategy. I don't want to say it's crucial towards the strategy, like you should plan to heal with him. But Oob is very good after heal, and especially with his tech typing, it makes him quite a solid unit to use around this Oceanus stage. So him linked up with those units is going to give him, good old, how can I say, it's going to give him good old cold judgment and big defensive buffs. So I think overall it's just a very, very good kind of combo of units to pair up together. The SS4 units were ideally going to split with the physical Goku, at least in the beginning. Main reason being for two reasons. One, physical Goku, very good unit, very, very good unit, but also has some issues. So one of those issues, is the fact that he unfortunately does not have attack typing. So that's going to set him back a little bit in the second phase for us. But the other issue that he has is that he does have an upper limit towards his defense. Very similar to Vegeta. Both of them were exceptional units when they came out, but they did fall off with the advent of Red Zone. Now, they're not in any way, shape or form bad units, and you can see that they perform a very good job here. They'll both take single digits, especially after Super. They'll both be fine, but we're going to push them to floaters. So they're going to float around, create some orbs, just in general be a very nice, consistent, solid defensive rotationary unit for us, and just allow us to kind of function, I want to say, with relative consistency. Now, beyond that, there's not too much else that I want to say is necessary for this team. One thing I will say, at least from like a functionality point of view, I will say that I find the GT or the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to be nice, like a nice choice here. A couple reasons. Obviously, the countering super attacks is pretty cool, especially when you've got a unit that enjoys stunning you and just frustrating you. And then also as well, I find that the type advantage and the level his defense can get to, I think, is pretty good. So I wouldn't say he's necessary, but I would say he's also obviously a very strong choice. Plus he pairs up pretty well with the SS4 units, so them as a pairing is pretty nice together. Overall, beyond that, there's not a huge focal point I want to say that we have. I think, for the most part, pretty happy with how the whole team is kind of functioning together. I think there's a relative solidness with this team and its build, and I think for the most part I'm rather happy with how it's functioning as a team. I think every unit here fulfills their role, and every unit functions just about as well as I'd like them to. I don't think there's anything too dire that I'd need to change, to get things, moving any better. Obviously, we could slot in more LRs. We could definitely put in, different functional units and things like that. But I think for the most part, I am relatively happy with how everything is functioning together, and just how everything is moving, at least in the direction that I probably wanted to, at least from my perspective. Beyond that though, I think that's basically everything that we need. I don't think there is any other notable changes to make to the team. Like I said, you've now got Oob's heal coming in. A very, very strong heal. Very good in this situation. His orb changing also helps us out a lot. Like, his orb changing is, I don't want to say crucial, but again, it's just one of those things that's very nice. Makes it so that you don't have to change too much. Makes it so that you have a consistent source of orbs to feed hungrier orb units like SS4 Gogeta and things like that. And yeah, I just think overall the team works very well. It's always nice when you can build these teams that just have good synergy, and GT Heroes, it has that. You can obviously bring Pan. I think Pan's a great choice. You can bring, the GT trio. You can bring a lot of units. It's not to say that these are the only units you can bring or things like that. It's not to say that there's no alternative options towards this team. There's definitely improvements that could be made. But I think for me, the heart of the team is still very functionally solid. It's still a very good team that functions without too much issue. Of course, we can improve it, as we can improve any team. But I think for the most part, I'm happy with its overt performance. If there was one unit I would definitely want to slot in, it is probably that I'd want to put in my own SS4 unit. I just think the SS4s are still so very strong, and to have that another strong physical unit for the first phase instead of GT Vegeta would be probably ideal. Plus I could link them up with Oob, and then I think the team's just functioning a little bit better. Again, not necessary, not like 100%, like, you know, over, like, oh, if we had them, like, everything would be better. But I think if we had them, we'd probably be looking at a no-item run with the GT Heroes team as well, which would be nice. But yeah, I think it's a nice, strong stage. You know, Oceanus Shenron, strong units, strong, nice abilities that she has as well. Makes you think a little bit without being overtly, you know, overtly completely out of the way. But yeah, I would say overall, nice stage, good event, was a lot of fun, and yeah. But that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you can leave a like. Otherwise, just give me a shout if you need any help, or if you're wondering about any team building tips. Of course, I'll gladly help you guys out, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and bye.